Welcome everyone to another Results Now webinar. This is Jeff Herring, your host, and I am so happy to be broadcasting to you live from our virtual studios here north of Atlanta, Georgia. And our topic today is social content secrets with myself and my good buddy and colleague Niall Nickel. Finally, how to profit with your content on social media. What we're going to do is show you some things about social media and content and where most of us get it wrong. Okay? So in the email building up to this, I talked about how I did it wrong for a long time. You probably are on some places, because in the big 6 social media sites, there is different protocol and unique strategies for getting the most out of your content, the most prospects, the most profits on each site. And they're different for each site. And today what we're going to do in the Results Now workshop portion of our show is we are going to go deep into one of those big 6 and show you exactly what to do. So I am now making Niall an organizer. And welcome, bud. Can you hear me okay? All right, you are an organizer and you are unmuted, so let's see here. How about now? Now, you coming in okay?
I can hear you. I'm going to dial in just for a better microphone. So.
Okay, because you're sounding fine.
Well, if I'm sounding fine, that's okay with me.
Well, let's check with the audience. I mean, that's the one that counts. How about you guys? Are you hearing Niall okay? Tell everybody hi, Niall.
Hi, Niall.
Niall sounds great, fine. Marjorie says you sound goog, so I guess that means you're fine. So if you sound goog, according to Marjorie, then you got to be right? Yeah, everybody's saying you sound fine. Okay, so we are at the very beginning. You know what I did? I was teasing on myself when I got that note from you. The internet is so sensitive, Niall. I mean, I typed in your instead of the L in the NL in your email address, I put NN, and it didn't go to you, you know? So
I should correct that problem.
I know. Change your name. All right, so we're just at the beginning here, so we're gonna dive in and move forward. I've just welcomed everybody, and there's your last chance for the early arriver bonus, folks. Okay, so here's a couple of announcements before we get going. You get to partake of NAMS in 2 different ways in the coming year. The August workshop is going to be virtual, August 7th through 9th. That means you get to go from the comfort of your own home or office, okay, which is kind of cool. And then the live one will be in April 1st through 3rd in Atlanta. There's a link, jefflovesnams.com. Now, Niall, getting all the NAMS people together on April Fool's Day, what could possibly go wrong? Right?
I can't think of anything.
Oh my goodness. I'm planning things already. All right, and announcement number 2, folks. Next week's webinar, speaking of NAMS, another NAMS colleague, my good friend Paul Taubman coming in, talking about 3 simple website tweaks. I'm going to say that 3 times fast one day, but not today. 3 simple website tweaks for increased sales. Paul is a WordPress guy, and boom, we'll give you some good stuff on that show. So there's the link there, jeffherring.com/3 tweaks. And you'll probably could imagine you'll get some email about that in coming days. Now, if you're just joining us for the very first time, like a lot of folks are, I see some new names there. Welcome, folks. Excuse me, I'm still getting over this cough. Why listen to me about this stuff? All right, so those first 2 columns right there is really the whole point of content. And this is how I learned the power of content wherever you put it. Because when you are able to get your content, your message, in front of folks on a regular basis and regularly show them 2 things, 2 simple things, how you approach their problems and how you uniquely solve their problems, guess what? Changes marketing completely. Instead of you having to pursue clients, guess what? They're pursuing you. And we're going to do that. Sandra, I'll get to you in a little bit. And we're going to do that today, drilling deep into social media. Okay? That's a column I wrote for 10 years for the Tallahassee Democrat, building my marriage and family practice. There's a shot there of speaking at NAMS, and then what I call the four horsemen, my four credibility folks: Dan Kennedy, Lisa Sasevich, Alex Mendoza, and Tom Antion. Folks I've either done content marketing for behind the scenes, and or they use this stuff with themselves and their community. They're all colleagues and friends now. And so, Niall, now that you've joined us, why should these good folks listen to you? Put you on the spot, bud.
Well, that's okay. You know, you and I were talking about it, and I actually got surprised. I have been first off, my background is as a data engineer. I'm heavy into analytics, and that's really what the core of my profession is. But I have been dealing with social media, and better yet, social media marketing now for about the past 10 years. And I end up doing about 4 conferences a year, countless webinars, countless books. As a matter of fact, you and I were talking about it, and I realized that I've spent in that 10-year span between travel costs, seminar costs, all of that type of stuff, about $500,000. And now I'm actually going into the pace of about 4 to 5 of these webinars or seminars, better yet, a year around the country, some of the top ones. And you know, even if you don't implement it, which of course I do, you know where I'm at on LinkedIn, but even if you don't implement it, it rubs off on you. But I invest in this stuff. I work with this stuff. I apply it to my business.
And see, that's a beautiful thing, folks. This is why we want you to learn from us, because, you know, not only have we skinned our knees and bloodied our elbows and fallen on our face learning what to do here, we spent tons of money doing it and do this every day. And so with us, you don't have to go out there and make this stuff up. We're in the trenches doing it every day. And those are the kind of folks you need to learn from. You don't have to take our word for it either. Okay, here's Entrepreneur Magazine online talking about why content marketing is king, even on social media. And so let's just do that later. If you're a beginner, you're in the right place, because guess what? You're going to get to know what some of the big mistakes are and what to do instead. So you're going to be beyond most folks already. Now, the majority of people on a webinar such as this are going to be folks that have been doing this a while, yet just aren't making the income you know you could. I am really glad you're here, because that's one of my favorite things to do, is help you get past that. And I want to honor all the experts that are here, fellow veterans of this stuff. They're here looking for a powerful edge. Hats off to you, because you're like us. You want to keep getting better and better, which is a good thing. All right, so here's what you're going to get in our show today. A little bit of webinar wisdom, as always. The profitable social content mindset. Really, folks, how you look at this makes a huge difference. Okay? It always does, especially here. 3 big profitable social content mistakes. The power of profitable social content. This is going to show you a lot in one screen. Oh my goodness, one slide. I'm going to walk you through your next success steps, and then give you a profitable social content genius tip, straight from Niall. That, oh my gosh, we were talking about it this morning. You're going to love it. And like all these events that we do, so much more. So now, as like all my events, this one has a couple of sponsors. The first one is Social Content Secrets, brand new course from Niall and I, how to continually profit with your content on the big 6 social media sites. Now, that means there will be an offer at the end of this show, and you will get an opportunity to get a backstage pass to the ground floor of something that's going to grow and become a community lifelong. So you guys are on the front end of it. Now, I don't want you to invest in it at the end of the show unless and until we've delivered on all our promises. And we'll come and check with you, brand new folks. You'll see what that means in a little while, to see if we have delivered on our promises. And then I do want you to feel obligated to yourself to get on board and get going with this stuff, because it's powerful. And then our charity sponsor, as always. We have one. This week it's a local organization in the Atlanta area called Be Rich. Do more and give more. It's not about getting rich. It's about realizing that we already are and how to do it well. And raising money, 100% of which goes to organizations that are doing good with people. So what that means is a percentage of everything I bring in from webinars and public seminars I do and other things goes to that organization. And it's part of why I do what I do and part of why I got a big grin on my face. So when you invest later today, you're not just investing in yourself, you're investing in doing a lot of good out in the community and out in the world. So here's your webinar wisdom. Okay? This is a quote from our buddy Joel Cobb. And this is really powerful. I want you to get a hold of this and remember this both as we go through the webinar and then as you go through the coming course. It's just powerful. Everyone starts with 0 followers. Let that sink in. Whatever site you're on, even with your email, everyone starts with 0 followers. So the playing field is pretty level. If you leverage the power of social media sites to build a following and drive them back to your site, that's the wise way to go about it. Okay, so a little webinar wisdom to get us going here. And let's talk a little bit about the mindset you want. Here's what it's not, right? And so many people still believe this, and that's okay with me because I kind of like the idea that a lot of people still believe this so that my students and I can move past them. Okay? Social media is some bizarre cross between a complete waste of time and a great big time suck. Okay? There are pieces of that I used to believe. Okay? And then I saw the results, which always impressed me.
Hey, Jeff?
Yeah, man?
You know, one of the things I'd jump in on here is you and I both agree that social media is not this, but if you don't have a plan and you don't have a strategy, this is what social media becomes. So the plans and strategies are critical.
Exactly, because it can be a time suck if you don't do it the right way. I love that. Thank you. So here's an example of what it is. One, what Niall's saying, having a plan and strategy. And two, it's really your very best opportunity to start from 0 and grow to be seen as a leader in your field. Okay? I don't care where you are now. I don't care if you don't have a website and can't even spell Facebook. Okay? Do this right. Start from 0. Do the strategies that Niall's talking about in the plans, and you can become the leader in your field. Okay? I want you to adopt that mindset and kind of hold it in mind as we go through our webinar here, our show here, and then as you come on board and we go forward with the course. So here are 3 big social content mistakes. And this is what drives a lot of people crazy, trying to be in too many places at once all at the same time. Now, we focus on the big 6. Niall and I were talking this morning, and it's not even hundreds anymore. It's thousands or more sites that you can get involved in. And there's just no way you could do them all, and really no way you should. Okay? So this is not about spending your day liking, tweeting, blah, 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 blah. I mean, this can be done in a very small amount of time. It looks like I'm all over social media, but that's because of a plan and because of a strategy, some of which we're going to share with you today. What you do instead, okay? Now, you know, a lot of things I do, I just, an idea pops into my head, and I do it, and some of them are okay, some of them tank, and then some of them people just kind of go nuts over. And one of the things folks go nuts over is my little X's, you know, where we create a sweet spot. And so here's the social content sweet spot, okay? With all these different sites, okay, you want to look for where these 2 lines cross, okay? The first line is, what gets the best response from your community? What gets the best response to your message? Of course, you're going to focus on those. And then where that crosses with your favorites, that's a real nice sweet spot. Now, if you're getting the best response from one and it's not your favorite, be wise and allow it to become one of your favorites, okay? And that's where your social content sweet spot is, and where you need to be spending a lot of your time and energy with the strategy and the tools you're going to get today. All right, so that's mistake number 1. And what to do instead, mistake number 2. I call it the suck of sameness. Okay, how you like that'll stick with you, right? The suck of sameness. Somehow it sounds like something from Seinfeld. And what that means is, and this is where I was messing up too. So you guys aren't the only one. What this means is distributing, displaying, using your content the exact same way on all social media sites. There used to be a day when you could get away with this, but things have developed and evolved to the point where each one of these sites we're going to focus on have a different protocol for distributing or displaying your content. Now, you can do it the same way on all, and here's one of the dangers of social media. You can put your content out there and feel like you've accomplished something, give yourself a sense of achievement without any results. Okay? And I like achievements that get results. When you follow the protocols we're going to teach you and the strategies and the plannings and do it uniquely on each one, then that's where you get more prospects, more people, more traffic, more people signing up for your stuff, more sales as well. So instead of the suck of sameness, here's what you do. You master how to distribute your content on each. Okay? You follow the plans. You follow the strategies of people that do this every day. And the beauty of it is it doesn't mean you have to create brand new content for every site. I mean, this is repurposing heaven in that you have to structure it differently and distribute it differently in order to get the most impact. Wouldn't you agree, Niall?
Absolutely.
I like that, absolutely. Thank you, sir.
Nothing else needs to be said.
I like that. I like the succinctness. Simple is good. Mistake number 3, I configure it. Oops, typo. Here's a beautiful thing about doing webinars this way. Typo fixed, and now don't we all feel better? I can figure it out and keep up on my own. Well, you know, the veterans of our webinars know my answer to that. Good luck with that, okay? Because if you could probably do that if sleep is optional for you, all right? Otherwise, you're in trouble, all right? So what you do instead, always get every edge you can from trainings, coaches, and mentors. And that doesn't just apply to you guys. Niall gave you an example of how much he invests yearly on. Joan feels much better for the typo fixed. I knew I could count on you, Joan. How much money Niall invests a year in continuing education. Okay, I am spending all day tomorrow and all day Saturday. All day tomorrow, my birthday, I'm spending all day in a traffic workshop, learning how to get better at driving traffic. Okay. If you want to do well with this, you've always got to get better and better and better. Okay? So those are 3 mistakes that if you just do that differently, it's been worth your investment of time here, and you'll be farther along or further along, whatever the proper English is. I'm sure some people will tell me what it is here shortly now, than most of the folks out there in your niche, if you just do that. Okay, so with that said, you want to look at the power of all this? You ready for the power of social content? Give me a yay or nay in the Q&A. Just want to check in on you guys. I know Joan's feeling much better because I fixed a typo. Okay, lots of big yeses. Thank you. Appreciate all those yeses. Here we go. All right, here's the power of this, folks. Now here are the big 6, and I hope you appreciate the time it took me yesterday afternoon, as I thought, I don't want to just put up the same old logos of all these sites, right? So I went to my buddy, my good friend, my favorite place to hang out. Yes, my name is Jeff, and I'm a word swag addict. I went over to Word Swag yesterday and just found these different graphics for all these different sites. Now, I had to play with one a little bit, but look at the power of this, okay? The numbers you see under each one are the as of yesterday, okay, the last week of April 2015. Their rankings on Alexa. Alexa.com ranks the amount of traffic. Thank you, Marlene. She says they're great. The amount of traffic a site gets, okay? Number 1 is the best. Number 1 is Google, okay? If you have a website in the top million, if your website is ranked in the top million, you're doing pretty good. Top 100,000, you're doing great. Look at here. Look here. Facebook. Okay. And ladies, I hope you like that nice gentleman with the Facebook sunglasses. Facebook's number 2, second only to Google. Gets a little bit of traffic. YouTube is number 3. Twitter, amazingly, is number 8 still. Okay. LinkedIn, something that Niall is just a incredible whiz kid on and teaches LinkedIn stuff about LinkedIn. Number 13. Instagram. Okay. What I used to think of as something my kids messed with, okay, is 29. I put at least one content infographic on Instagram every day because of the amount of traffic it brings me. And then Pinterest, here's one I had to play a little bit with. WordSwag didn't have its own graphic for it, so I found a nice cute little baby there in a tub, put a Pinterest stamp on his head. So that's Pinterest number 37. Joan, how do you find out your website ranking? Go to Alexa, Alexa.com, and just type in your website in the search bar, and they will tell you. So now all of these big 6, all the way from number 2 to number 37, and when you get into like this, it's easy to lose perspective. Well, you know, Instagram and Pinterest, they're 29 and 37. They're not 2 and 3. I know a lot of colleagues who would give parts of their body and maybe 1 or 2 of their children to have websites ranked that high. Okay, we're talking about millions of unique visitors a day, millions, okay, sometimes billions to these sites. And you know my rules about traffic. You don't chase after traffic. You find out where it's going, get ye in front of it, and then redirect it where you want it to go. And that's really one of the driving principles of what we'll be doing today. And in the course is showing you how to do that. All these places, folks, pointed at you and your site. Okay? This is the way to dominate your niche, build your list, drive a lot of traffic, and make more sales. All right.
Hey, Jeff,
So, yeah, man.
I'm going to give you an insider tip here that that we'll share with everybody, because while Alexa tracks, and it's important, the unique visits that you get to your website, and those are the rankings here, 2, 3, 8, 13, 29, and 37.
Right.
One of the things that Alexa doesn't do is it doesn't rank the authority of the site.
That's right.
And authority can be more important than what a site is ranked as.
Say some more about that.
So let's talk about LinkedIn. It's number 13 here. Why should you mess around on LinkedIn? Well, first off, LinkedIn allows you, in simple terms, to have your own little individual website on the LinkedIn site, and it transfers its authority to you. LinkedIn is the number 4 authority site on the internet. Now, what could you go to where you get the number 4 authority site sharing its authority with you? So not only do these sites get lots of visitors, but when you get that authority transferred to you, you show up all over the internet better. And that's an important thing. So we didn't talk about authority with this slide. I missed it. We should have. Little insider tip there.
I love it. Well, we'll go deeper into that on the course. I love it because, I mean, the point, folks, is you get stuff on a high-ranked authority site like LinkedIn, and the authority of LinkedIn transfers to you by association. Okay, you know, your kids. Thank you, Marley. That's what Jeff's been telling us to do. Go to LinkedIn. You know, you worry about the influence of your kids' friends, right? You know, because it's guilt by association. This is also authority by association. So thank you, Niall. All right, so what you want to get is all these places pointed correctly at you. All right, so let's dive into the mini workshop portion of this, and I just wanted to show you those 6 again. Now, are there more than these out there? Yes. Okay. One of the things we'll do in the course is do a module on what we're calling the up-and-comers and the also-rans, the ones that you can pay attention to and play with. You do not have to do all of them. These are just the big six that get you the most bang for the buck. And one of the things, if you've been listening for a while, that I've been saying for, gosh, a couple of years now, just watching trends online, is more and more of the internet is going to infographics and video. Infographics and video. And I mean, two of these sites are pure infographic with some video. All of these sites, well, YouTube's pure video. All of them now, you can do both on there. And so these six are the place to be. So now, what we want to do, if we were going to go deep into every one of these in the mini workshop portion, we'd be here for a week. All right, so that's why there's going to be a course. What we are going to do is pick one and go deep into it, and we're going to do that with the number 2 ranked website, Facebook, and how to get your content on there in a way that gets you the most bang for your buck, gets you the most prospects, the most profits out of it. So, how you like my graphic there, Niall?
That's good.
You like that one? Okay. So help them understand why it says shocking, controversial, and funny, and tell us about graphics on Facebook and how in the world do you get your content into a graphic?
Well, the idea with Facebook, and you and I talked a little bit about this in detail as we were preparing, but we have to go to how everybody interacts with and if you will, consumes Facebook.
Right.
Now, most people have a couple of hundred or more friends or connections on Facebook. That means that their wall is pretty full. And so when people go to Facebook, and I'd love to hear from the group here what they do, but generally they scroll through very quickly, and something has to catch their attention immediately. I mean, do you find that's the way that you browse as well?
Oh yeah, I'll grab my phone and just start, and I notice friends and colleagues, or I notice things that get my attention.
Yeah. So I'd love to know what the group's thoughts are as well. But what we find when we look overall at the post is a graphic is absolutely required. If you've got words only today, the words are generally lost unless you've got a small group and you're highly interactive with that small group.
Okay, I want to park there for a second because I don't want people to miss that. Because what he's saying, folks, is when you do your updates and your posts on Facebook, if you only use words, if you only use text nowadays, even if it's the best message in the world, most people are going to pass it by. And that's because of the power of infographics. That's what you're saying, isn't it?
It is. Graphics are critically important. And it's not just any graphic, hence the words that are posted up here. Ideally, you like it to be something that's shocking, controversial, or funny. So if you're able, as this infographic would do, you being the insiders now and knowing what it's about, if you're able to communicate your message in as few of words as possible on a graphic, people will stop at it. They'll pay attention to it. And all you want them to do with that graphic is you want them to pause and look at your post. So the graphic is just the attention getter, but today it's absolutely required. It's not optional.
That's huge.
And ideally, the more shocking, the more interaction you get. The more controversial, the more interaction you get. The more funny, the more interaction. And interaction, what am I saying? I'm talking about people commenting, discussing, sharing. That's what you're looking for.
When you say controversial or shocking, I mean, do you have to like use bad words, or I mean, what do you do?
Well, you've got to be transparently you. And you and I, we refer to ourselves often as brothers from another mother.
Yeah.
We wouldn't be using typically abrasive language. Um, but there's certainly a group of people, and not passing any judgments. It's different, just a different group. That's more common. That's part of their entire culture. Um, and again, the millennials uh, are more into this than if you will the boomers are, like you and I are. But so you just have to be genuinely using your language. Um, and so, that's where, me, I try to cut it wherever it goes. And unfortunately, there's more gray than black and white. You have to know your audience. And if your audience is offended by certain language and it's not the way you talk, you wouldn't want to use it. But if you want to be shocking, I'm trying to think of what we would say. You and I, in a lot of our shocking headlines, will use the word "suck" a lot. Well, some people might find that offensive. We typically don't. We use it frequently, but it's an attention getter.
Right.
So you find whatever those attention getters are. That's a shocking one. A controversial one, obviously. Something that is that's a major topic today, trying to avoid politics and religion, and there's a lot of controversy outside of politics and religion. It just has to be true to you. Funny, again, it's going to be funny to you. You and I pass a lot of bacon pictures back and forth. A lot of people wouldn't necessarily find that funny. We do, and the crowd that we're following, that's following us, also does.
Yeah, and you can create those for yourself. Here's an example of one I was just playing with this afternoon. And it's just I looked on WordSwag for a professor, and I got a picture of Freud, right? And we've talked about most people do this wrong. So here's my shocking thing: you're doing it wrong today at 5. And so then there was a link on Facebook to this webinar. There's people here on this webinar because of this. But somebody that is really good at higher math here in the Q&A, how many words have I used in this infographic? Jeffrey, I can't avoid religion. It's my niche. Well, there you go. That's fun. I love it.
But by the way, let's not put that aside and laugh at it. If that's your niche, then by all means, be shocking, be controversial, and be funny. One of the things specifically religion doesn't address much and doesn't talk about much are sexual topics. Is it something that religion should be talking about? Absolutely. So you could still be in the religious segment talking about something that's going to shock people and will get their attention and get them to react to it. The reaction is what you're looking for.
What a great infographic, and I could come up with a good picture and just say, does God like sex? ? That ought to get attention. Okay, so Carol, Joan, Candy, and others are right. There are 7 words. Okay, Marjorie's, Marjorie, just, you're one of those specific people. 6 words and 1 number. Okay. I love it. I love it. So they're right. There's 7 words or numbers there. And so that's done on purpose, folks. Why, Niall, is 7 or below on an infographic important?
The whole key is people are scrolling by this, as we mentioned earlier. And as they're scrolling by at typical scroll speeds that we are used to finding on Facebook, they could read about 7 words as they're scrolling past. You have to grab their attention with the image and the words literally that quickly. If you've got more words, like the Joel Comm infographic that was at the front of this. You and I talked about that this morning.
Right, the bigger one from Entrepreneur. Yeah.
What it has to say is absolutely great. But to get to somebody to catch that and pause in the feed, if it hadn't have been Joel Comm, you might not have picked that up. But
right, exactly.
You were looking for Joel Comm, so you stopped and picked it up.
So, folks, there's a reason why I chose these 7. Okay, we all had that teacher that probably loved saying that you're doing it wrong, and that one doesn't look too happy. But I mean, how many times do you see that? You're doing it wrong. That'll get your attention. That'll pull you up. Now, little pop quiz. Where did I get the phrase "today at 5"? Where did I borrow that from? Not a rhetorical, kids. Let me know in the chat here. The news. Yeah, exactly, Joan. You hear those teasers all the time on the radio, on TV. Some little blurb about a story, and today at 5. And it can also be talk shows. Okay, so it's something shocking. You're doing it wrong, and something that people are familiar with. Okay, that little tidbit right there, folks. 7 words. That's what people can catch when they're scrolling. That's worth your whole investment of time today. But guess what? There's a whole lot more coming. Do we want to say anything more about graphics and images, Niall?
I think that we beat it to death. The only thing that I'd say is make sure that you've got a good quality image as well. Low quality communicates low quality.
Low quality images communicate low quality. I like that. Val's making a good point. Words provide direction to the next step. Exactly. Okay. Now, what I'm not showing here, but what you can find on my Facebook site is above this was a link to this webinar. Okay. So it's there's an intention behind this, of course. All right. So let's look at another piece of this. Now, in the course, we're going to provide. Would you be surprised if I was going to provide you with some templates, kids? We're going to provide you with templates for each of the top 6 and how to templatize your enterprise and plug in your information to social content templates. Okay. Now, one of the templates that we're going to use on Facebook, and this is one of the places where now you just go an inch wide and a mile deep into stuff I never thought about. So explain these 3 concepts and why it's a template.
Well, certainly, Jeff, to really have sort of the trifecta of a post for this template, and this is a great template to use. As a matter of fact, it's probably one of the templates that will get you the absolute best results. Is you look for a topic that has high general interest. Where can you find those topics? Look on Twitter, for a matter of fact. Just look at the trends. Look on Yahoo for the trends. If you watch, the news and you happen to bounce through 2 or 3 shows in the morning, you pick up the newspaper, you're going to find that there are topics that's on the front page or at the top first 5 minutes of every broadcast. Well, those are high interest topics. You don't have to like them. You don't have to agree with them. You just have to recognize them. So now that we've generated some high interest topic, and it'd be interesting. Can we sort of maybe create one of these on the fly, Jeff, with
sure.
the group?
Sure.
So,
let me pop over here to Facebook and we'll just do one, huh?
Yeah. But one of the things that I'm going to ask the group while you're doing that in the comments section is, let's ask the group what topic is the topic that is that you're seeing most frequently right now. And
Not
this
a rhetorical, folks. What's a trending topic you're seeing a lot right now?
And I'm going to be surprised if we don't have one that jumps out by asking the group here. So, group speak up. Nepal, absolutely great. The riots, Baltimore riots, Baltimore. And I knew Baltimore riots were going to come up. So that is a general interest topic. Is it a controversial topic as well? I'm not seeing any answers on that, but Hillary Clinton. Okay, we've got 3 great topics. Nepal, Hillary Clinton, and actually we got 4. Bruce Jenner popped up there too. So
what a mix.
so the bottom line is you have identified right here, you know what a general interest topic is. So, you know, and people, I mean, we could pick any one of these. They're controversial. In Nepal's probably not. But, you know, I see in the feed here and the answers, Baltimore Riots came up most.
Right.
So the general interest topic might be the Baltimore Riots. Now,
okay. So we'll take that.
Let's go to the next one. Have there been any celebrities involved talking about it, commenting on it, or anything else? And let's see. Baseball games with no folks in the stands. Marjorie, that was great. That picture is a great picture. So, yeah, maybe we ought to go with that. I don't know if we're going to.
I'm doing it.
Okay. So we've got the baseball game with no folks in the stand. I know obviously the Orioles were in that game, but I don't know who they were playing. I think it was the White Sox.
I'm not sure. I bet somebody knows.
White Sox. Yeah.
The White Sox. Yeah. Okay.
Carol, there you go. So,
you're right.
We're letting you guys create this, and I like Ray Lewis with the Riots too.
Yeah.
So.
All right. So I've got the graphic on my phone.
Okay.
So we've got the graphic. Now? It's trending topic, controversial topic, celebrity tie-in, and then what's the next one?
Well, event. Now we've got a true trifecta here just with that, because the event obviously was the baseball game. So we've got the Riots. We need the celebrity. What celebrity is going to go with the baseball game? And I'm looking to the crowd. You guys are creating this. We're not doing it.
Give us the name of a Baltimore Oriole baseball player.
I didn't watch the results of that game. I don't know if anybody did. It would be interesting to Andrew Jones commented.
It was funny. A lot of them said that a lot of the players said it was a lot like coming up in the minor leagues when they played for no crowds.
Baltimore won. Hey, that's sort of an interesting twist.
That's right.
Who were the home run hitters in the game? Let's see. And again, I'm reading the comment feeds. I don't know the answer to these questions.
Right. So keep the comments coming, folks. Who's a player on the Baltimore team?
You know, we've got a lot of baseball fans here. I'm impressed.
We do. Okay. Now Cal Ripken's not with them anymore.
But I like.
I got a picture with him. Okay, so Andrew Jones, okay, of the Orioles. The community needs to heal. I love it. Okay. Okay.
So we'd like 7 words or less, ideally. And we've got the interest, an empty stadium. Now, one thing that was unique about this game, as a matter of fact, I understand that it may have been one of the shortest games in history. It was by far an hour shorter than the average game. So, you know, how could we tie some celebrity and controversy into this, and maybe even the event? Let me see. Baseball is America's game, right?
Yep.
America's pastime.
I'm doing a little bit of a different tie-in in this infographic I'm going to show here, and I want to show. Give me a second. and we're gonna make this a work in progress.
Well,
Okay.
that's okay. I'm interested in group comments here.
Okay. So keep those coming in while I play with this, and then we'll add to.
We're going to see if we beat whatever Jeff's doing right now.
No
And listen,
way.
we've got a whole group here to beat you, Jeff. I'm going to get the group on my side. We're going to beat you.
Ain't gonna happen.
Okay.
Ain't gonna happen.
Jeff just threw it down. Let's not let him beat us. So, I like the Andrew Jones comment.
Yep.
Chris Davis homered it in the game for Baltimore. One of the things that I noticed about this, I'll just throw something else out there. No cheers for Baltimore. Yeah. Hey, there's something there. Wow. Great, Georgia. The thing that was interesting was they showed the picture of the game being played.
Right.
And they showed all of the fans that were there locked out on the outside.
Oh wow, what a powerful thing. All right, so here let's play with what I've done here, and get some audience participation, okay? Because this is already on Facebook, but it's in the raw, okay? So this is a rough draft, created with word swag while we're talking, okay? So let's say that you're going to have a product for filling webinar events, okay? How do you like this so far?
I like that so far for filling a webinar event.
Okay, so one of your recent events, so it's timely, right? I don't know if that's Camden Park or not, but or Camden Yards, but you get the point, okay? So over here, what if we put like the Andrew Jones comment? Let's see, how could we work that in? Dawn likes that one. It's not Georgia. I don't know what park it is. All right, so Andrew Jones, he said about the fact that the community needs to heal.
I'm going to do a quick search as well while you're doing that. Because, this is the way to create it.
Can a webinar help your community? Let's see, can a webinar help your community heal? Like, this is a reach, but like Baltimore Riots, Andrew Jones. Okay, it's a reach, but we're just playing here. And my friends on Facebook are going, Jeff must be doing a webinar.
Well, and we could also take a different view on that. We could also go, in fact, it would be great if we had the image of the people locked on the outside of the empty stadium watching.
Oh, yeah.
And, don't feel locked out of the event. Jump in now. Something like that.
I like that. So really what you've seen here, folks, is just sort of on the fly, going back to these three things, okay? High general interest, celebrity tie-in, special event, okay? Now, of course, Niall, and I'm, I'm not an attorney, nor do I play one on TV, but, oh, Marjorie, that's a great idea. Tie in the woman who found out her son was throwing rocks and came and beat the crap out of him. I love that video. Of course, you'd like to do all three for a template like this, but what if you do 2 out of 3? Niall, is that still powerful?
2 out of 3 is still powerful. Remember I said when you get all 3 of them in, the template's most effective. You've hit the trifecta.
Okay. So one of the things we want you to pay attention to is what's trending right now. Okay, it's attention grabbing. Okay, If you can tie in a celebrity beautiful, tie it to a special event, that could be seasonal. Right now it's spring, could be a holiday, or it could be your special event. Like if I'm going to launch a webinar course, okay, if I was launching a webinar course, which I'm not right now, what a nice way to get attention, right? All right. So what's interesting here, folks, and this is why we're going deep in just one with Facebook, is it's not just about graphics on Facebook. It's also about videos. Okay. Now, there's two ways to do videos on Facebook that Niall's going to explain in just a minute. This one's just from a buddy of mine here in the Atlanta area, Lee Collins, and Brian Johnson, our guest last week, is doing just a happy birthday video for Lee. It's engaging, it's special, it's connecting, with somebody, and Brian's, about out of his mind is Steve Martin, so we're not going to play the video for you, but you can see he's not doing a regular video there. But now talk with us a little bit about why video is now important on Facebook and how it's being done differently.
Before I do that, and I absolutely want to do that, I want to go back to the last thing, because obviously
Okay.
we were jumping around trying to get all three in and create the post. If you happen to spend 30 minutes to 45 minutes on this, don't think that that's wasted time, because we're talking about the template that you're actually going to use on all 6. You're going to apply it differently, but you're going to use the same theme, the same strategy here across all 6 or 7 or 8 platforms. So don't hesitate to make the investment here. It's critical. This is what will get you engagement and resonance with your community. So let's go to the video.
Across the board. I like that.
Yep.
All right, so here we go.
So this is a good investment in your time doing that. Now, let's talk about video, because videos are more engaging than pictures. However, you want to think about the image that's going to come up initially. And obviously, you could set that image, the beginning image, or the thumbnail image that comes up for the video. And you want the same rules to apply that we talked about earlier. But yesterday, if you were on Facebook, because that's what we're talking about tonight, on Facebook, you would have posted a video, and it undoubtedly would have been a YouTube video. And when you posted your YouTube video on Facebook, Facebook actually boosted your post. It was seen by more people because Facebook wanted to engage more people with video on Facebook. And they found out that that was very, very effective. They got a greater engagement on Facebook because Facebook users were actually posting video. However, they couldn't stop there supporting YouTube, which was a Google product, on Facebook. So what they did, and if we talk about today, if you post a YouTube video on Facebook today, no longer is your Facebook post promoted, it's actually demoted. What they want you to do...
Demoted?
Demoted. Now, hey, yesterday it was good, right? Today it's bad. Does that mean that video on Facebook is bad? Absolutely not. Facebook just now, in the recent history, I'm saying today, wants you to post the Facebook through Facebook's video posting channel rather than putting a YouTube link on there. And if it comes through Facebook, an original video posted to Facebook through Facebook, you are back in the promoted status. So it's critical to know just these little tiny things like that.
It's one of those things where small hinges swing big doors, right?
That's absolutely one of those, because again, if you read something that's 6 months old, in fact, even if you go on the internet now, you'll notice that you'll find a lot of posts where Facebook is promoting video. and you need video in your post because your post will be promoted. Well, they didn't change the fact that they want videos there, but they did change the platform that they want the videos posted on. Now they want them posted on Facebook, not on YouTube.
See, that is a small distinction, folks, okay, in which how you do things makes a huge difference, okay? There's a lot of people still out there putting their YouTube videos on Facebook thinking everything's fine, okay? And so that's why you upload now directly to Facebook, and it gets promoted versus the other way around. So videos and images on YouTube, you saw, are just one of the examples or templates for this. And how many of you, if you knew this before this webinar, that you needed to do stuff that was high general interest, celebrity tie-in, and a special event? If you knew all three of those before this, let us say, yeah, I knew that already in the Q&A. I'm not getting any, I knew that already. No, not me. Okay, cool. Okay, see, this is the kind of stuff, Marlene's so glad to learn of this. Good. Because this stuff changes all the time, okay? And if you're not on top of it, you could be doing things and you think you're doing them well and you're not. What's that quote from my buddy Alex Mondosian? The only thing worse than going in the wrong direction is going in the wrong direction enthusiastically, okay? We don't want you to do that, okay? So that's why we're going deep here. Now, I already know this because I know my crew. Now, some of these folks have actually been doing this while we've been demonstrating it on their Facebook. If you've already been doing this and playing with this on your Facebook site while we've been doing this demo, fess up in the Q&A. Say, that's me.
Well, I'm really interested to see what people have done, too, with some of the other topics that we talked about, like Nepal and for that matter, Bruce Jenner.
Sure. All good stuff. Val made a really interesting point earlier that all of those things are all about identity. So, thanks for you guys for taking action. And it's already been your turn while we're doing all this, okay? One of the things we want you to do while we're doing this is put up your own. Take action right away. Get the results right away. Go play with this later after you're already on board. Actually, we'll probably make it the first assignment in the course after you guys come on board in a little bit. So, folks, that's just what I want you to get here. Is that's just a slice of a part of one of the big six, okay? A slice of a part of one of the big six, okay? So here comes the question I always ask. Based on what we told you in the beginning, boys and girls, have we delivered on what we told you we were going to do? Yay or nay, please, in the chat box, Q&A. Because I need your permission to go on, as promised. Val's incorporating into her template system. Yes, yep, yupper. As always, thank you, Amba. Am I saying your name correctly? Amba. Yes. Okay, so I guess we get to go on here now. Now, here's the deal. We had two choices. Niall and I do this all the time. We talk several times a week, blasting these ideas around. And Ed, you got a good question that a lot of other people have asked. When you use word swag, like the photo I used of that ballpark, when you use word swag, they are connected with a site whose name always escapes because it's a goofy one. But I will tell you it in just a second.
While you're looking for that, Jeff, I'll also give them another one. Because with word swag, you could use your own pictures. And by the way, your own pictures work even better. But the second thing is don't hesitate to consider using something like Canva as well.
Exactly, to create your own.
So yeah, so the bottom line is you could create completely royalty-free images, either using your own or using one of the sites that they have legally obtained permission to use. Obviously, if you're going out and having photos, yeah, you've got a problem about that. We haven't talked about that yet, and I know it's something that we planned on talking about. But you know, it's a little bit more of a deeper issue to review. And as a matter of fact, what we'll probably do is we'll probably just release the content and point you to it rather than spending a lot of time talking about it in the group. Other than the fact,
yeah, do it as a resource section, because like WordSwag is associated with Pixabay. Thank you, Georgia. Pixabay. It's right there in WordSwag in a $3.99 app. So every picture that I put up on Facebook or any of the other sites, you can know one of two things. It's either come from WordSwag and is royalty free, or I've gone out and taken it just in my day-to-day life. And it kind of makes it fun because you get to just take pictures all over the place. Okay, so you know, so our two choices is, one, we could have shown you this stuff and said, okay, go forth, do it, figure it out. Okay, or we could invite you into a way that's going to show you how to do this. I think the first one would be cruel and make it crazy, because as I was talking to one of my higher level clients this morning, it's like, Jeff, you know, there's things on my plate that if I'm going to add anything else, I got to take off. And that's one of our big missions, is showing you what to put on your plate to get the most bang for your buck. So we chose number 2 and have got something really cool to invite you into. Okay. Now, one of the things that makes Niall and I brothers from different mothers, is we like to go from simple to complicated, right? And I like to go the right way. Here we go. All right. From complicated, and I said simple to complicated, didn't I? Yes, let's go to simple to complicated. All right. Now, that's what most people do, right? So, how about if we go complicated to simple? Okay. There's enough complication out there. Let's make this simple. And we also like to go from expensive to affordable. So what we want to introduce to you is the social content secrets. Okay. How to continually profit with your content on the big 6 social media sites. Now, 7 reasons why you need to join this today. And oops, I got so interested in changing the 7 things, I didn't change this. Okay, so let's change this typo. 7 reasons to join social content secrets. I feel better. How about you, Joan? Okay, and then we'll move this too. All right, this is going to be taught by 2 thought leaders in the field who have done it and do it every day, Niall and I. This is not theory. This is in the trenches every day. You're going to get 6 powerful modules, 1 for each of the big 6, Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, LinkedIn, Instagram, and Pinterest. All of these taught live. Okay? And we're going to do a 7th one that's going to call the also rans and up and comings. Okay? So you can see what else is out there too. Good. Joan feels better. All right. Reason number 3. This is a huge bonus, folks. Lifetime updates. What do I mean by lifetime? Okay? Whoever dies first, you, Niall or me, or the course. Okay? Course is going to be there forever. So it's going to be a long time. In other words, as things change, we will update you in each module and in the whole course. You don't got to go out there and wonder, well, have they changed something on Facebook and I don't know about it? We'll know about it and we'll tell you. Okay? Bonus number 2, you're going to get a social content consult with either of us, either Niall or myself, helping you do this better. Reason number 5 and bonus number 3, this is becoming one of the best bonuses you could ever have in a course. It's your members-only private social content Facebook group. This is the community we will build around. This is the community we will build around this course, so you can continue to grow, get feedback, get our help, get each other's help. Okay, it's coming, Paul. Stand by. Some people are itching to link already. Reason number 6 and bonus number 4, social content vault. The stuff we've written and videos we've done about this. Reason number 7, I want you to imagine a month from now, and you've been doing this stuff, and you're getting more traffic, building your list, getting more sales. Okay, Now, bonus reason is live training with your Backstage Pass. What that means is, okay, you're going to be there as we create this course. The modules will be live. That means you get to get to ask your questions live and get them answered live. You get to be there on the ground floor. All right, so now I found this graphic on Facebook last night, and of course I've given links and attribution. Vintage social networking. Many of us on this call are old enough to remember this. Okay, Instagram was pictures. Pinterest was you posted pictures. LinkedIn was a Rolodex. YouTube was looking out the window. Okay, Skype was your phone. Facebook is your your notebook. Okay, the nice thing is that stuff didn't change much, right? Okay, the challenge is all these others change all the time. These big six change all the time. We'll keep you updated with all of them. Right now, other programs like this are going to cost you $9.97 to $2,000 or more. I see them out there every day, and they just don't work as well as what we're going to do with you. Okay, this we're going to do because it's a big, robust program, and will continually be added to it. It's going to be a higher price program. Okay, now, how many of you believe that is the final investment? How many of you think you're going to get a better deal? You want a better deal? Yay or nay in the Q&A, please. I've got to hear from you. Do you guys want a better deal? Awesome. Yes, they do. Okay, I like that. Okay, here's your better deal. Okay, but first, you got to play with me. Play with Niall and I. I don't even know if Niall's even seen me do this. So show off for my buddy here. Okay, just like in America's what is it called? The Extreme Home Makeover, right? They yell, "Move that bus." Yell at folks here in the Q&A. Move that slide. Dawn got to it before I even asked, okay?
I see it coming.
All right, move that slide, move that slide. Love it, guys. Okay, here we go. Here's your Backstage Pass, okay? When this is completed, when this is out there, whoops, didn't mean to do that. It will be somewhere between $497 and $997, okay? But we're taking $800 off that $997 price. You get all this on a Backstage Pass, doing it live, for only 3 payments of $77. One now, one in a month, one a month after that. Or Smart Cookies will save $34 and do a one-time investment of only $197. There is the link, socialcontentsecrets.com. And Niall, while I'm talking, if you would be so kind as to post that in the chat so people can just click on that and don't even have to type it into their browser. Okay? So now, before we get to that, I want to show you what you're getting into. Okay? So here is our members area. Right? You will note that it is blank. That's because we're starting out this course. Right? Okay? At socialcontentsecrets.com is where you want to come on board. You're going to get the famous Get Started Here module that shows you how to get started. There you will also have the schedule of our live training. And you'll notice a module for Facebook, for YouTube, for Twitter, LinkedIn, Instagram, Pinterest, your social content consult, your updates, the vault, the Facebook group, bonus of the up-and-comers, and also rants. Now, I want you to look at all you're going to get, okay? Later on, the replay for this will be right here, all right? So here's what I've got for you. Now, for every one of these modules, you're going to get how to distribute your content on that site for maximum prospect and profits. We're going to give you templates for that site and how-to videos, and each one will have its own live webinar training. Okay, so really, each one of these could be its own course at $497. You're getting them all for $197 as a Backstage Pass. So you get all that for Facebook, for YouTube, for Twitter, for LinkedIn content secrets, for Instagram, for it all. Okay, how to distribute your content on all of these for maximum prospect and profits, content templates and how-to videos, and live webinar training for each. Okay, when you come on board today, as many of you, all right, are already doing, okay, you get updates for life, okay? That means as long as this is something that's happening on the internet, and as long as Niall and I are on the planet, we will update you, okay? That's a one-time investment. This is not a membership site where you pay over and over. It's a one-time investment, okay? Then you get a social content consultation with one of us on the phone, helping you make your stuff better. The vault that contains articles and videos about this that we've done. It's really another course within a course. This is priceless because of the community that gets built, the friendships you make, the joint ventures that come out of it. You get to run stuff by people. Now, here's what this will do for you. Finally profit from your content on social media. I know you guys are putting it out there. You guys are going to know exactly how now and how to profit from it. Okay, you'll know exactly how to structure and post your content for each of the unique Big Six social media sites. You'll no longer worry about having the latest strategies and no more wee hours research trying to discover the latest tips and tricks that'll be here today and gone tomorrow. We do all this every day, all day, every day, so you don't have to. Okay? And you can consistently leverage your content on social media to drive buyer traffic, not just looky-loos and plate lickers and tire kickers, but buyer traffic to your sites so you can grow your list and your profits. Here's what you want to do next. Again, normally $9.97, today only $247, but webinar only Backstage Pass, 3 payments of only $77, or be smart, save $34 with a one-time investment of only $97. Now, here is a super crazy bonus that Niall almost tried to talk me out of this morning. But we are committed to building a community around this. Okay? Are you guys, let me know in the Q&A, are you guys ready for an unbelievable super bonus that is only going to be available for Backstage Pass people? You guys ready? Yay or nay, please, in the Q&A. Big yeses. I got a big yes from Elena. Yes, 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 yes. Okay, here it is. Okay, and includes a special bonus of 1 ticket to our first ever 2-day social content secrets live event here in Atlanta. A $9.97 value. We want to hang out with you. We want to do this face to face and build a community around this. Now, you got to get here. We're not going to put you up, but we will not only instruct you and teach you for 2 days. Those of you that were at my workshop at NAMS recently know that we will also entertain you. And you get to at least wear goofy sunglasses. Okay? So all this, I mean seriously, all this for one investment of $197, or you can finance it for 3 payments of $77. Congratulations to Rita and Max and a whole lot of other people that are on board that I'll try to get to. Awesome. Jewel, I love it. Jewel, one of my team members. I think I need to be there because you will obviously need a lot of admin support. Yes, ma'am, I want you there. Okay? Ed's asking if this is live, when will it start? Great question, Ed. The first training will be 2 weeks from tonight. Okay? At the time of this webinar, it's April 30th. Thursday, May 14th at 7 p.m. Eastern, we will do our first training. And if you think you got some good stuff on Facebook on this webinar, we're going to go so much deeper into so much more good stuff. Okay? So, back to our show. Because I promised you, welcome aboard to Ann Potter, smart lady. Here is your profitable social content genius tip. Now, Niall blew me away with this notion this morning. So Niall, tell us about what this means. Your editorial calendar year. The heck is that?
You know, one of the things I'm interested is because people on here are content creators and content sharers. How many of you have heard that you need to have your editorial calendar? I'm really curious about that.
Let us know in the Q&A. How many of you have heard you need to have an editorial calendar? Dawn says me.
Yeah, I'm seeing a lot of people. Well, here's what's critical. it is critical that you have an editorial calendar. And what you want to do is you want to start with the basic holidays that are geographically specific to you. Now, one of the things that we'll be talking about is we will be talking about, obviously, an American-based editorial calendar. Now, certainly you could tailor it to anybody you want, but then we're going to expand it to other things other than the basic editorial calendar things. So editorial calendar, we would get things like Christmas, Valentine's Day, Easter, so on and so forth, going on through the year. But then you start thinking about, and let's pick Christmas as one. Christmas plays out pretty well on almost everybody's calendar wherever you're at. So if we think about the first part of December, maybe the first week or two in December, and you're thinking about Christmas, what's on your mind? I know what's on my mind. I like it. We do have to prod people to answer questions, but what is on most people's minds? Am I done with my shopping? Did I get the right gifts for everybody? Did I get gifts for everybody that I'm supposed to buy gifts for? So one of the things that you want to do on the editorial calendar, and we're just using one holiday, Christmas, as the example, is buying gifts. Yep, the big one. But one of the things that we want to talk about is we want to talk about when that event's coming up, what is going through your prospect's mind? What's the conversation that they're carrying on? As you know, both Jeff and I have followed Dan Kennedy. We've done a lot of work with Dan. One of the things that Dan talks about, and I know that Dan didn't develop this because it goes back in copywriting forever, you want to go into the conversation that your prospect is carrying on in their mind. You want to pick right up in that conversation. So if you know Christmas is coming up, you want to do Christmas-based post on your editorial calendar, but early in December, probably up through about the 20th December, maybe even amping it up a bit, you want to get into their mindset, is their shopping done? Have they got all the right gifts? Did they miss anybody? And think about, if you've got plenty of time to be aware of this coming up all year round, what you could do with that. You're going to see pictures and images that you could use and that would play right in to the perfect post for that time of year. Now, one of the things that you do is we'll help you create the calendar, because it's not only geographically specific for the nation that you're in, and I know that we have people, Jeff, from probably 5 or 6 different countries here.
Yeah, all over the world.
But it's not only nationally specific, but it is your group specific. So you want to get those events that people in your group resonate with. And you want to then put it on the calendar, and you want to print the calendar out. And you want to be looking at that literally every day, because you'll get great ideas. As a matter of fact, you'll improve ideas as you go along. The next thing that you know, when it comes December and you're ready to take it easy, you've got a full suite of posts ready to go that are going to perfectly engage your audience. They're going to think you're a genius because you've thought and planned ahead. And most people don't do that. And then, because we are going to talk about the big 6, you're going to have a column on that calendar for each 6, because you're going to think about the special customization that you're doing for each different platform. So, literally, you've all heard that you need an editorial calendar. When we walk through the creation of it together, you're going to find out how you could take that calendar and really turn it into something that is your editorial calendar for your group, and it's on steroids. And because you've got the plan, It's going to be easy and simple, which is one of the promises that we made. We want to take something that's complex and we want to make it simple.
Exactly. And let's welcome a few more people. John and, let's see. This sounds like generic American. John and Mary, welcome aboard. Okay, all right. So there's another one, Natalie. That's a little bit more of a unique name. Welcome aboard. Trying to get everybody here. So your Genius editorial calendar, or Geki, we're not only going to help you with it. I mean, we helped you with it already. I mean, just think about it the whole year. Okay, it's spring season right now, so spring into whatever it is you teach. Spring into content. Okay. Now, sometimes these things bomb. Okay. I was playing with one recently off of topical stuff, and I titled a webinar 50 Shades of Content or something ridiculous like that. And it didn't go over well, so I changed it midstream. Okay. So you test and you test, but you will look like a genius when you do this, and then you plug in your own stuff. Okay. So in my editorial calendar is NAMS season twice a year, right? So I've got that planned. It really makes this a whole lot easier. We will help you with this in the webinar training. What we're going to do in the live today is we're going to help you customize your own. Okay, that'll be one of the big things we do down here in Atlanta, is help you customize your own editorial calendar. Before you ask, that date has not yet been set. It will be. And I can guarantee it'll be fun. If you were in my workshop at NAMS here in Atlanta back in March, just you can say in the Q&A, yes, it will be fun, because you know. So there's your big genius tip, folks, and thank you for that. Now, that makes people look smart and makes things so much easier, okay? So this really, folks, is your very best opportunity to start from zero and be seen as the leader of your field. You're going to get step-by-step instruction, 6 modules of social content goodness, plus a 7th bonus module where we're going to talk about the up-and-comers and the also-rans.
I'm excited
for instance,
about that one.
What's that?
I'm excited about that one because we've got some up-and-comers that are just blowing the water apart right now.
Well, I know, and you've told me about some. I mean, I was telling Niall this morning about how my sons, John and Caleb, use Vine, the 6-second video thing. John started it. He likes to sneak up behind us, scare the crap out of us, and get our reaction. And put it up, you know. So now, of course, we have to get him back. So it's an ongoing series of scare the crap out of each other vines. But you can promote stuff. You can do all kinds of stuff with that one. And there's so many more for us to talk about. Folks, you're going to get social content templates, okay? Templates for each of the social media big 6, where you know exactly what to say, how to say it, like we talked about on the webinar today. 7 words or less in a attention-grabbing infographic. And this is like unheard of, folks, okay? Lifetime updates. And it's mega unheard of in social media, okay? We're going to keep you up to date on the ongoing changes because things do change. Now, a backstage pass means that you're getting in at the lowest possible rate. Free payments to $77 or save $34 and get in at $197. I don't want you later when this is done, when it's $497, and you hear about the big results and the community we're building. Dang, I wish I could. I would have done it. Okay? Do it now. SocialContentSecrets.com. Welcome aboard to Linda, who just joined. Awesome. Can't wait to talk with you guys. Can't wait to see you soar with this stuff. This isn't just one site, folks. This is the big 6 on social media, which is where it's at. Now, come back with me to 2007, 2008, when I first started doing this full-time, trying to figure all this out. And there were 2 things. There were websites and there were emails. Okay, this is even before blogs. Okay? Social media didn't exist. And, you know, it was harder back then. You guys got it made with these big 6 when you learn the strategies and the protocols and when you plan, because it's so very much easier to get known, to get traction, to get build a presence in your niche with all these different sites. Okay, YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, Instagram, Pinterest, the big six. Okay, and those of you that are still thinking, what silliness, Pinterest and Instagram pictures. It's not silly when it drives buyer traffic.
Jeff,
When you do it right.
one of the things that's interesting is Pinterest has a higher buyer conversion than any site out there.
Really?
So,
say some more about that. What does that mean, a higher buyer conversion?
Well, that means that if you've got the same number of followers on Pinterest that you do on every other site, and you look at those converting to engaged purchasing customers, you're going to get more off of Pinterest than you are off of any other site.
That's
hands
crazy.
down. In fact, last time I looked at it, it was about 3.5 to 1. So
that's crazy.
But
isn't Pinterest all just about recipes and crap?
Well, that's what most people think, but
I know, that's why I said it.
I do my podcast post on Pinterest. I get engagement off of Pinterest. I've got apps.
Wait a minute, you can put a podcast on Pinterest?
No, I do the post for the podcast.
Okay. You drive traffic to your podcast from
exactly.
Pinterest. Okay.
Exactly. So, there's big things like that, and I am just chomping at the bit with Periscope and Meerkat that are out. We haven't talked about it.
I know, right?
In fact, I'm even curious if anybody knows or has heard or is using Periscope or Meerkat. But anyway, we don't want to get off topic there. I'm just excited.
Well, yeah, absolutely. But let's ask: has anybody heard of the new connection between Periscope and Twitter? Anybody? Lynn, I'll send you an email about that question.
We got one. That's
one.
Good.
Yeah. Okay. Way to go, Elena. Okay. We'll be teaching that in the Twitter module. Just crazy good thing to do. So here we go, and then we'll take some questions. Right? Decision time, folks. This is your backstage pass. You get $800 off. Okay. And we do this because we're going to create the course with you. Okay. You can get it all for 3 payments of only $77. And yes, one payment gets you in. Okay. And then you continue to make the others, of course. Or you can be smart and save. Paisley likes that idea. You can save $34 with a one-time investment of only $197 at socialcontentsecrets.com. Encourage you to get you in on the ground floor of this, of what's going to be a really cool community, and get you more traffic. Get you more traffic that turns into more prospects and more profits, because it's wonderful to engage people on all these sites. You got to get them back into your world. Okay, so the link is right there. You can type it into your browser. It's also, thanks for now, thank you, sir, in your chat box. You can just click on it to get where you want to go. A couple people are asking, like Ed did, when does the training start? Okay, we're going to do a live module for each one of these. Okay, in each module there will be the live webinar training. There'll be the templates. Okay, and there'll be videos and other how-to training on how to maximize this. Okay, so you're going to learn exactly how to do it right for each one. The first module is 2 weeks from right now. Okay, on May 14th, Thursday at 7 o'clock. We'll spend time. That will probably be our longest module because we'll do a lot of introductory stuff and housekeeping, where I remind you that the bathrooms are down the hall and that kind of thing, and we'll dive deep into YouTube. Now, here's the thing. Between now and then is 2 weeks and 30 minutes. Okay? So during that 2 weeks and 30 minutes, we will be sending you assignments, things to do, okay, to get you prepared to hit the ground running, to keep you engaged, and to keep you excited, but mostly to help you hit the ground running, okay? Because you know what? This is the crazy notion that most people don't talk about. Welcome aboard, Douglas. But it's true. And it's one of the ways I do business the way I do it, and the way that Niall does business the way he does it. Listen, folks, this is true of your clients too. The better y'all do, the better we do. Okay? So we have a very, very big vested interest in seeing you do well. Okay? So we're going to make sure that happens. That's why we have the private Facebook group that you'll be invited into during the next few days. And once you get in, introduce yourself and talk about what you're working on. Ask questions. Run stuff by people. Okay, that's the community, and that's something that it'll be worth the whole, more than the whole investment. Okay, so if you've got questions for us, I think I've answered everyone that's come in that I've flagged, but there's been so much interaction I may be missing something. So if you've asked a question that we have not gotten to, please re-ask it, and we will get to it. And so Niall, I'm really looking forward to this. You and I do good stuff together, besides have fun doing it. I almost said any last words. Any final words you want to leave with our folks about
I'm not
why
sure
this
that's
is
better.
important and why they need to get started now?
Well, the critical thing is you start your branding, and clearly we're on the cutting edge of a lot of things. The earlier that you adopt and get into what the cutting edge stuff is, the more you're able to adopt and stay on top of the current trends. As we talked about, Facebook has changed so much just this year. I know LinkedIn has made 4 major overhauls, and it's not even at the end of April yet.
Wow.
So, these things change frequently enough, and, just trying to stay current with them is crazy. One of the things that I know we haven't talked about a lot, you and I talked about it earlier, but we haven't talked about it tonight, is the mastermind value of this. Not only what they get in the group, but when we get everybody together face to face. And for example, we're doing the editorial calendar. Listen, Jeff and I both are excited about this. We were talking about it today because we think we've got great editorial calendars. We know that when we leave that session, our editorial calendars will be better because of the mastermind principle that goes on.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's what everybody gets to benefit from. So, it's just I'm excited because we all help sharpen each other. Iron sharpens iron, and you guys are great. I could see it from the content and the questions and comments that you made as we went on. But what we're going to come out of this with all together is just going to be phenomenal and unstoppable.
Absolutely, and think about social media this way. For many of you, it's people's first impression of you before they even get back to your site. Okay, and I have friends that are attorneys, and one of the things they talk about when they're going to court, when they're going to trial, okay. One of the things they talk about with themselves, and one of the things they teach their clients, is that things don't start when you enter the courtroom, okay? You're being watched and observed as soon as you pull up in that parking lot, and you get out, and you're walking in, and you're doing this, and you're interacting, okay? And so a lot of it happens before they even get in the courtroom. By the same token, a lot of people are making decisions about you before they ever get to your website, before they ever opt in. And it's your presence on social media and how you show up. Okay? That's why you see a lot of the stuff I do just for pure engagement, because I want to show up as somebody that's who I am. Okay? I'm fun and can teach you something and likes to have a good time with this stuff. Okay? And that you can trust. All right? So think about using this course in that way, of showing up in the right way. Welcome aboard, Georgia. Showing up in the right way with folks, so that by the time they've seen your stuff on Facebook or YouTube or LinkedIn or Pinterest or whatever, they are eager to get back to your sites, opt in, and do business with you. Okay, that's why I love social media, because it is a great it is a great appetizer for people to the full meal. I'm throwing all these metaphors at you to show you the power of this. Okay, so it looks like we've gotten to all the questions that we worked in as we went. That's the mark of good presenters, folks. They can work in the questions as they go. We're going to start wrapping up here, folks. And so I want to do a couple things. I want to thank you for hanging out with us. Lots of places you could have been today, and you chose to hang out with us, and I'm pretty sure we made it worthwhile for you. Niall, thanks for taking the time to do this with me, and I look so forward to doing this course with you. And folks, we look forward to seeing you use this stuff and profit with this stuff. We look forward to meeting you in Atlanta when we do our live first 2-day event that you guys get as a super bonus, and only the folks that come in through this backstage pass are going to get it as a bonus. Everybody else is going to pay for it. So another incentive to get on board. I asked you about last words, Niall, so we've done that. Final words. God, I'm trying to kill you off, man. And so what else? We want you to go get this stuff at socialcontentsecrets.com. There's the link right in front of you. You can type in. It's also in your chat box. You can watch for a replay. Well, we'll get it to you. I'm in a workshop for 2 days, but the team will get it to you. Don't worry about that. And the offer that we've made here will be good through Sunday night. Go get this stuff at socialcontentsecrets.com. And folks, go use this stuff, because guess what? Flat out works. And we'll catch you next time.